Good morning, madam. My name is Jocelyn Passy. Today we are going to present about our research proposal. Our research title is Factors that Influence Customer Behavior on Online Food Delivery During COVID-19 Pandemic. First is introduction. This study is to investigate the factors that influence customer behavior on online food delivery during COVID-19 pandemic. Survey will be used in this study to collect more data and information. The result also supported by the data collected and the moderating roles of situational influence such as COVID-19 pandemic. Next is problem statement. Online retail has grown exponentially, transforming people's daily life and society as a whole as a result of the fast advancements of internet technology. When it comes to retail e-commerce, the greatest market category is online food delivery. Online food delivery has seen tremendous growth in recent years. Governments, restaurants, and marketers need to understand how consumers use online food delivery service in order to create and strengthen their online presence. Other than that, the factors that influence customer behavior on the online food delivery, especially during COVID-19 pandemic, also need to investigate. The studies of situational influence cannot be ignored in consumer behavior research, especially in the field of online food delivery. There are some research objectives. First is to investigate the factors that influence customer behavior on online food delivery during COVID-19 pandemic, and the second is to examine the impact of factor may motivate consumer adoption intention towards online food delivery ordering service. Here are some research questions. First, what is the factor that influence customer behavior on online food delivery during COVID-19 pandemic? Second, how does the COVID-19 pandemic affect customer on using the online food delivery? Third, does technology capability influence the customer's intention to use online food delivery service? Fourth, does consumer intention influence the consumer's adoption behavior toward online food delivery service? And the fifth, the last one will be, does situational influence, which is COVID-19, moderate the relationship between consumers' intention and consumer adoption behavior toward online food delivery service. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Tan Jing Yuan. The research will provide different views to the factors that influence consumer behavior to online food delivery during the COVID-19 pandemic. This research examines the effects of factors may motivate consumers' adoption intention toward online food delivery ordering services. Through this research, the community will know more about the changes of consumers' thinking, changes of the situation and business mode during the COVID-19 pandemic. This research also helps people to understand the benefits and contributions of online food delivery during the pandemic. This research will focus on 100% of online food delivery customers between age 18 and 30, especially new users registered during the pandemic. This research will also study the changes of consumer behavior affected by the changes of situation and business mode during pandemic. Based on the Oxford Learner Dictionaries, behavior is the way a person behaves or functions in a particular situation. From Cambridge Dictionary, pandemic is a dangerous disease that infects many people at one time. The objective of this research is to investigate the factors that influence customer behavior on online food delivery during COVID-19 pandemic. The result of this research may bring useful information to online food delivery community and bring more valuable information for the future research. That's all.
My name is Celine Lau Shuwen. My non-entry number is 20124025. I would like to present the part of literature review. Online food delivery service provider may through by food chain restaurants such as McDonald's, KFC, and various mobile apps such as Foodpanda and GrabFood. It allows customers to search for favorite restaurant, pick up available item, and specify a delivery address to purchase meal through OFD or restaurant website. OFD service are seen a new trend in the restaurant sector. It has significant impact on the food sector during COVID-19 pandemic because of its ability to expand enterprise, improve staff efficiency, and build a large client database. Next, this is theoretical underpinning parts. Using the TMA, it is possible to predict whether or not new goods or service will be accepted by the general public. From the theory of reasonable action, TMA was developed. In this approach, attitude is seen as a critical factor in determining one intends to engage in certain behavior. People's perception of innovative goods and service are also a factor in shaping their attitude. Next, this is the conceptual framework part. Factors that influence customer behavior on using online food delivery service during the COVID-19 pandemic have optimism, innovativeness, insecurity, and discomfort. Optimism, innovativeness, insecurity, and discomfort all depends on customer behavior. The moderator variable is COVID-19 pandemic, where the mediator variable is the new business model has been improved. Last, the control variable is true by technology.
Hi, I am Mogisagi. I would like to summarize about Chapter 3 Research Methodology part. First, data collection method. The online food delivery OFD customers are considered as the target population in this study. The snowball sampling method is to collect data from 1st April 2020 to 13 April 2020. An online-based well-structured questionnaire was developed using Google Forms and shared with the respondents. Questionnaires. The well-structured questionnaires consists of 3 sections. The first section had question on the demographical details of the respondents' outrage frequency before the lockdown purchase decision during the lockdown. The second section were asked to measure the respondents' opinion about the perceived benefits of online food delivery and product involvement with online food delivery during COVID-19 pandemic.
My name is Disha. My metric number is 2012400349. Today I'll be discussing about the pilot testing where the Google form was used to create an online questionnaire. The research study focuses on the client who ordered online meal delivery during the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak. The information was gathered over the course of 2 weeks. A description of an online meal delivery service was offered at the start of the poll. The questionnaire had 4 parts, which is the demographic data such as gender, race, education, and household income. Next will be the TAM variable of perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and the viewpoint of online food delivery service and the willingness to use the food delivery service. Next will be the online food delivery service trust, satisfaction, and social aspects. And the last one will be the online delivery service experience.
Next part, research design. In this section will be elaborate about validated and reliability of measurements. A confirmatory factor analysis (CFA) was conducted to validate the internal and the external consistency of the constructs used in this study. The adequacy of the measurements model was evaluated based on the criteria of reliability and conversationality. Moreover, descriptive analysis, as shown in this study, the percentage of male respondents, 54.4%, was slightly higher than the percentage of female respondents, 45.5%. About 74.6% of respondents were Caucasians, and followed by African American 10.1%, Asian American 7.5%, Hispanic 5.4%, Native American 0.4%, and other 1.6%. About half of the respondents had bachelor and graduate degree was 57%, and nearly half of the respondents live suburban areas, 51.9%. Approximately 77.1% of respondents use online food delivery services more than once per month. Finally, hypothesis testing. To use the packed conferences supplied by SEM to test the hypothesis, this is necessary to assess the model's goodness of the fit for the variables. The goodness of fit tests are used to determine how well a model fits to the data.
My name is Muhammad Aziz. My metric number is 2012400342. Today I will to present about material and method. The online survey is conducted because it costs less, you get quick responses from the respondent, and it covers a wide geographical. Second, this research is divided into 2 parts. First, a demographic part, and the second is structural distribution. The range of this research respondent is between 200 and 500 retailers. The using of several points of Likert scale is used because it provides a more reliable and validity concept. Lastly, they given 7 days to complete the survey and to respond to us.
The data analysis method or procedure where the conceptual framework was examined using the partial least square structural equation modeling, which is the PLS-SAM method, where the PLS-SAM method was employed to evaluate the measurement and structural models. A measurement model was used to examine the instruments, reliability, and validity, whereas a structured model was used to analyze the structural connections. The main point will be the model of measurement, where the measuring methodology was evaluated by determining the construct accuracy and validity. The Cronberg, alpha, and composite reliability tests were used to assess the construct dependability. We looked at the component loading and the average variances to see if the construct were convergent. The finding shows that all construction outperformed the recommended value. The discriminatory validity of variables was also tested using the heterotrait and monotrait ratio, which is the HTMT. The HTMT values for the model efficiency met the requirement, which stated that the relation between 2 concepts should be less than 0.9. The result value confirms the notation adduces predictive validity. And the structural model shows that many efforts were made in the structural model to access the hypothesis association and its level of significance. As a result, we use these bootstrap approach using the 5,000 subsample to determine the empirical relevance to growth coefficients and the statistical significance of the association between independent and dependent variables was then determined using the t-statistics criteria with 95 confidence.
Chapter 3 is presenting the research question and hypothesis, present the research design, discuss the participant, the instrument to be used, the procedure, the data analysis plans, and the sample size justification. Each chapter provides a justification for the methodology and the method chosen for the study. It provides an explanation of the choice made for testing the relationship in the conceptual model, including the sampling, procedure, measure, and the analytical approach.